Good morning. Year 1881. Charles, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing his last name correct, but Gutrow shot the President of the United States, Garfield. Didn't kill him, shot him in the back, excruciating pain. They take him to the White House. Doctors begin to work on him. Two inventors were working to save his life. One was Alexander Graham Bell. They couldn't find the bullet. They probed, they tried, but they couldn't find it. It just wasn't visible. Alexander Graham Bell had successfully made from his telephone invention a metal detector, and it worked very successful on Civil War soldiers. He would take that device that he made and put it over the soldier, and it would say where the metal was at. Brought that into the White House. Didn't work. Not a bit. People were calling him a charlatan, somebody that just is trying to make himself known in a bad circumstance. They really lambasted him. The second one was Newcomb. He believed that because it was super, super hot, wanted to cool the temperature down of where the president was. So they took this room, huge room, filled it full of ice, made makeshift ductwork all the way to the president's room, and cooled the room down by 20 degrees. Over the next 81 days, it's said to have 500,000 tons of ice that were used over that period of time. Why didn't that metal detector work on the president? But it did on the Civil War soldiers. It wasn't found out until later that the president was lying on coils that were metal. That's the bed he was lying on. And that made the metal detector faulty. But that wasn't discovered. So the lack of knowledge and the fact that the doctors were probing with unclean hands. At that period of time, they didn't see the unseen. They didn't know what they didn't know. And the probing, and that was the defense of Gutrow. That was his defense, Charles Gutrow. He said, I didn't kill the president. The doctors did, which in fact was the truth. I just shot him. But he was still convicted and executed. The unknowledge. I think that's our past. When we don't know and we don't study and we don't go back and find out for ourselves, that's when we repeat the mistakes of the past. I think of when we're talking about coming up to the present time. I think of Ezekiel 34. God is talking to the kings and the leaders, presidents, princes, those that are over the people. And he's comparing them to bad shepherds. When a people is not educated, when they don't know, they begin to follow and they are tricked. That's what happens in America. When we don't go back to and the book of Acts talks about it, that the Bereans were more noble characters because they didn't even take what Paul said. They went back and they researched it for themselves. Did it line up what was already written down? If every single American would go back and find out what the absolute truth is, you can't add to the 10 Commandments. They are the basis of law. Stealing does not have to be defined. Take something that's not yours, it's called stealing. But we know that there were several years ago that it was owed to them. Reparations was the political term. Reparations, and that means you owe me, therefore I can steal from you. I can go in and shoplift, and justice broke down because absolute truth broke down. We're seeing a swing the other way. Now, America tends to swing in pendulums, which is not always the best thing. Do I want to see a police state? Absolutely not. But if my neighborhood is overrun by criminals, would I like to see the military intervene? Absolutely. Would I like him to stay that way? No. No. America swings in pendulums. We go from one extreme to the other extreme. And we try to balance, but America is a nation of extremes. And God in Ezekiel 34 said, I am bringing a shepherd that will take care of my sheep. Now, we know that Jesus in John 10 says, I am the good shepherd. This is direct prophecy fulfilled from Ezekiel 34. And it's incredible. And if America would turn back, if America would repent and turn back and find out, just like in the days of Josiah, King Josiah, the temple had been broken down. The nation of Israel was just, things were not good. It had some bad kings and some bad leadership. King Josiah comes in, and it wasn't right away in his reign. It was years later. But as they were repairing the temple, all of a sudden they found the book of the law. It had been lost. And that's what America, we were built and founded upon Christian principles. Was it perfect? Absolutely not. But there were Christian principles. There were covenants made. The Mayflower Compact was a covenant between those people, William Bradford and crew, the Winslows, and God. A covenant. And so things were founded upon prayer. But these were imperfect people. See, God does not raise a nation because the people are good. It's not. He raises it for his own glory, his own namesake. It's not because this administration is perfect and does everything perfect and does everything good, but it's because God's people are crying out for righteousness. Not the righteousness that is mankind, but the righteousness that is found in Jesus Christ. And God will use all kinds of different people. God will use all kinds of leaders. Good, bad, evil. He'll use them. Psalm says that they're in the palm of his hand, and he tilts it the way it would go. God has a plan, and we don't see the complete plan. God is not building kingdoms here on earth. Not right now. The kingdom is spiritual. It's coming to a close very soon. Very, very soon, he's going to take the church out of the way. And then for 7 years, Israel will be the spotlight. And at the end of that 7 years, Christ will come back with his saints, with the church, and he will speak the word without hindrance. God, Jesus Christ, spoke the word, created the stars, the earth, and all that without hindrance. But in order to bring about redemption, bring us back into right standing with God, God works through mankind, which takes more energy of God. God doesn't just speak the word and things happen. That's not the way God has set it up. God is love. He's a just God. He works by his own set of laws and his own set of rules. And this earth was given over to the God of this world, little g, Satan. God cannot just arbitrarily come in and just take it. He's got to work through people. And he's done that. Jesus Christ became flesh, dwelt among us, destroyed the works of the Satan, destroyed the curse, and brought man back into relationship with him through Jesus Christ. Gives us a measure of faith. Faith is small, the size of a mustard seed. We don't need any more faith than that. We just need to get the unbelief out of our life. How do we get the unbelief out of our life? Believe on Jesus. See Jesus. It's all about Christ. And if the land, the people, we begin to see Jesus. We begin to see him high and lifted up. We will say, God, I'm sorry. God, I'm sorry. God, I'm sorry. And we'll repent, and he will heal us, and he'll heal the land. And there is some movement back to that. Is it sustainable? Time will tell. It will create a culture change? Time will tell. There's a lot of cleaning that has to be done in the church, because there has been a belief that we draw them in through entertainment. If we can just make the music good enough, if we can just make the preaching good enough, if we can help people to feel good about themselves, if we can just build up faith. Those are all false gospels. It's all false. It's all about Christ. And Christ did not come to make you feel good. He didn't come to make you in unity. That's not the reason he came. He came to set you and me straight with God the Father. And that puts us into conflict. The life we live is hostility to God. This nation is in hostility to God. It's in hostility to God. It was asked Abraham Lincoln, whose side is God on, north or the south? And Abraham Lincoln said, that's not the question to ask. He said, whose side are we on? Whose side are we on? That's the question. And that's what we have to keep on asking ourselves. God, is everything okay? Am I offending you in anything? And as we come closer to him, he cleans us. He sets us straight. We are going to have trouble, but he is with us. He will walk with us. He is ever present with us. I go into his secret place, into the shelter of the Most High. I want to live there. I want to live there everywhere I go. I want to live there. And if we do that, America will heal. Legislation's not going to do it. Doesn't matter how many presidential resolutions are made. Doesn't matter how much Congress makes. Doesn't matter if our military is stronger, better. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if our economy gets better, it gets stronger. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What matters is, do I believe in Jesus Christ? What matters is, am I living for God? Am I loving people? Even my opponents, even those I don't agree with. Am I loving them? I mean, truly loving them. When people irritate, do I find out what is wrong in me because Christ is not in me? And what is it? What is the truth? There's a threat coming off of Venezuela. We've seen some things, drug smuggling, but it's more than that. It's more than that. There's terrorists that and it's well known, but the media doesn't speak about it too much. But it's there. It's on our doorstep. Hamas leadership had been there. Gaza is not the only cards they hold in their hand. It's not. It's not. It's at our doorstep. God is our only answer. Jesus Christ is our only answer. And those that refuse to believe that, it's not political leadership. Here's the fact. The Republicans look toward the national leaders, the president and the Senate and the House. The other, and that's the right. The left, they look for the grassroots, the governors, school boards. You tell me, who's gonna have the pulse of the nation? The American people need to learn for ourselves. Check it out. I want you to have a great day. Blessings. Find Jesus. RandyTramp.com.